Hey guys, it's Protendo, and while the Animal Crossing series contains some of the most replayable games of all time by design, it's no secret that no game is created with the intention to have it played forever. Regardless of the quality of a game or how much meat it has on its bones, we'll all eventually come to be burnt out from even our favorite titles. So because of the nature of my channel, and the fact that it's Animal Crossing week, I thought it would be interesting to take a look into why some people are already feeling burnt out with New Horizons. Keep in mind that this isn't me trying to say that New Horizons is a bad game or anything, but the topic is one that I barely see touched upon besides the occasional "there's just less to do" comment, which isn't necessarily false, but you know, I'd rather go deeper than that. So if you guys are interested, let's dive into it. Now, interestingly enough, I believe that part of the reason as to why New Horizons had people feeling burnt out so quickly is because of the tutorial. Or extended tutorial, I suppose. In Animal Crossing New Horizons, you're given the role of resident representative by Tom Nook, which comes with its own set of responsibilities. In your first couple of weeks in New Horizons, you're essentially doing everything you can to properly fulfill your role as res rep. Each day had something new to accomplish. One day, you're recruiting Mabel to open a tailor shop on the island. The next, you're collecting 30 iron ore to give to Timmy and Tommy so they can build the cranny, thereby aiding the entire town. This ensured that every time you logged in during the first few weeks, you're constantly active and constantly looking to better your island in some sort of meaningful way. And then of course there was the big one, Project K, the final challenge given to you by Tom Nook and Isabelle, encouraging you to beautify your island and get a 3-star rating to draw the interest of KK Slider so he can perform a concert in the middle of town. I think that this was masterfully done in New Horizons because, as I've said time and time again, these are games about progression. Every goal you accomplish up to Project K feels so important, because your island goes from an empty, weed-filled nightmare to a place capable of having a town hall building, and finally, to a place worthy of supporting the superstar that is KK Slider. But the tutorial itself isn't the problem. It's what comes after. Because what comes after is nothing. Don't get me wrong, that isn't to say that the game offers nothing to do beyond the first few weeks, but there are very few short-term goals to accomplish after you've drawn KK's attention. Sure, there's stuff like filling up a museum and designing your island, the latter of which is super important to a lot of people and probably makes the game incredible on its own, but neither of them feel as rewarding as filling out lawns for your new arrivals, or getting given a new tool as a reward for persuading a special character to move in. It's almost jarring how the game goes from having so much to accomplish within its first few weeks to nothing major after the fact. I'd like to reiterate that this isn't me saying New Horizons is a bad game, and I still love it dearly, because there'll be people in the comments calling me a hater if I don't say this twice. Obviously, most of my hours in New Horizons came from playing outside of the tutorial. But after the constant accomplishment felt with the game's first moments, the rest of New Horizons almost has this empty sort of feeling to it. I mean, the credits even roll after Project K is complete, as if the team's saying, yeah, this is where the game part of the game ends. Because as much as I love the life sim aspect of Animal Crossing, it is still a video game, and video games need goals to achieve. What if, I don't know, we had to attract Gracie after KK Slider, someone who's debatably more popular in the Animal Crossing world, and maybe someone else beyond her? I don't know, I'm just throwing random thoughts out there, but it would be so nice to have something further to work towards in relation to our islands. Because you can terraform and decorate to your heart's content, but the game doesn't reward you for this in any way, unless you count the golden watering can, which I don't. And I believe that this is what culminates into the burnout that a lot of players are feeling with New Horizons. There's such a juxtaposition between the game's tutorial and the rest of it that at times it can often feel like you've done everything there is to do. Obviously there's still the museum, but there isn't anything new to be gained from that. Despite the museum itself not being complete, the act of digging up fossils, catching bugs, and reeling in fish is something that we've all done hundreds of times at this point. And let's be honest now, in terms of terraforming, it seems like a lot of people have either completely designed their island from head to toe, or are like me and feel indecisive and exhausted every time the task needs to be resumed. Either way, it's not really something that's engaging to keep the game fresh over the course of months. But before you guys say it, yes, I can see the irony of me releasing this video on a day of an update. It was supposed to be released before, but that didn't end up working out. Regardless, I feel like the points I made in the video still stand. Even though diving looks awesome, and I can't wait for the opportunity to hunt for more sea creatures, the problem that I explained with the intense difference between the tutorial and the main game will still be something that persists, at least for me. But I think it's safe to say that it won't always be this way. New Horizons is going to have a ton of updates coming, and I'm sure there'll be a ton to do every day before we know it. It's just a shame that the game launched so unbalanced in this regard. But what do you guys think? Were you feeling burnt out from New Horizons, or were you still checking in every day? And how are you enjoying the update so far? Let me know in the comments below. Protendo, out.